Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get this epistle started, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to our beloved Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, our beloved Lord and Savior, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Haracha, Quadash. Double honors as always to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well, who we learn the truth from daily, whether you hear forbear, and sincere salutations as always to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of the sincere Akim of Great Millstone and the Akim on down that teach the likewise doctrine, the speckled bird Hebrews like foreigners scattered among the heathen that like the heathen, and the sincere Aquathium of the nation of Israel that listen in silence and meekness as the scriptures command to do so. All right, and this epistle right here is just going to be, holy conversation and various topics. All right, so through the Spirit, I wanted to start doing certain videos like this where um I glean little certain things that's from the world, all right, but filter them through the scriptures as we should be doing with all things, as far as our daily walk and getting closer to Yahweh Shai Shai. One of these things, Salakia, this is something that I find makes it easier to apply these precepts in real life, because we can read the precepts and we can understand them, but one thing the elder apostles and the elder bishops and the elders on down exhort us to do is be able to apply these in real life in real time, have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of knowing when and how to apply them. All right, using this word is not abusing it, as well as being wise as serpents and harmless as doves. But anyway, I wanted to get into a few things right here to start off, and then I'm gonna go where the Spirit takes me. But right here, this post that was put up by the brothers page, endure these last days for. Uh, right here, this this thing, Glorilla says, if your man doesn't get the job done right, go with his friend. Sexy Red and Glorilla are the downfall of our women and future generations. This is what the comments said. Prime example of why this generation is cooked. Guys, it's okay. She'll retweet men ain't in a couple of weeks. This thought process is why divorce rates are at an all-time high. Right. So this, what else did he say? Vice versa. That's why she ain't got no ninja and no ninja ain't got her. Encouraging young women to be bops and to get hurt. You promoting this type of music, but don't react to shit when, basically, And this is why our elder apostles and our elder bishops and our elders and Akim went down to Great Millstone and those that teach the likewise doctrine, as much as, Yahweh Bashmi Shai puts it on their spirit to say, this is why they exhort us to leave the nigger woman alone. All right. And this goes in this video epistle, obviously, this is directed towards these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and speckled bird Israelite foreigners, which are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. All right. These individuals that I just named the bywords that was put on them due to the captivity and the curses that we've triggered by sinning against Yahweh Bashmi Shai, being scattered amongst the heathen and being subject to the heathen. But the point is, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, all 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, this is what we have to deal with. And as far as the brothers, this is this is what most brothers, especially the Southern Kingdom, have to choose from. The infamous Judite woman. All right, and I don't know for a fact if Glorilla is a Judite. I don't know her father's background and nothing like that. It doesn't really matter because she's moving in the spirit of a Judite bitch, and that's all that matters. But I found this hilarious was that, this was said right here, and then right above that video in my algorithm, it's like in my algorithm, GMS Atlanta, Devout Servants, they had a video titled Greater Evils Are Approaching. And that's beautiful through the spirit, because the brother in his caption, he put Shalom reasons judgment coming to these demons, and it's real, because we keep trying to tell our people that, look, contrary to this covering cast, well, part of the covering cast that Esau has put over the world, Esau, Edom being the self-proclaimed so-called white man, who's not actually white, but he's the red Hebrew Edomite that also been called the devil and Satan that the Bible speaks of. Part of the covering cast was this false image and reputation he put on the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son and the holy angels. That the Heavenly Father is just, he tries to paint the Heavenly Father, his version of God, who he calls God, is this balding Edomite old man with a beard that's touching Adam butt naked, his finger, and all this other type of stuff. And he got the only begotten Son in the image of Cesare Borgia, a maniac and a degenerate that was having sex with his own sister. He makes him as the son of the living power, and he makes angels to look like little babies that are butt naked with little small wings, when all of that's blasphemy. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, his name is Yahweh. He has the image. If you were to see him face to face, he would have the appearance of a so-called, he would have a swarthy appearance, what people have called now so-called Negroes due to Esau's bywords. His only begotten son comes in his image, and he looks just like him, which is why our Lord was chosen by the Heavenly Father to be born to the tribe of Judah. One of the reasons, Salakia. Well, Salakia, that's not a reason, but our Lord Yahweh Shai comes from the tribe of Judah, and Judites typically have the swarthy appearance of a so-called Negro. All right, and the holy angels, they have intimidating appearances as well. And the point of me getting all this is to say the Heavenly Father, he doesn't care about who he brings judgment upon. All right, that's another thing. Like Esau, he sets up many snares towards our people. And I heard it in the live stream done by the beloved Elder Yashawamba and the elders in the Akim of the GMS Dallas camp on Remnant Save 144 last night. I heard the elder, he brought out an excellent point about how our people in ancient times, they used to be, because of the laws, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Bashmi Shai being enforced, our people would be too afraid to commit adultery, or at the very least, be too afraid to be caught. Now people are so because of Esau's his wine, his idolatry that he's pushed. People not only are they not afraid of it, they make songs bragging about it. Okay, and they mentioned, I think, an old Bobby Womack song where he said, "I wish he didn't trust me so much," and it was getting into how he was basically digging into Sam Cooke's woman. And this is the type of crap that goes on, man. This is why the elders and apostles keep telling us, watch out for the nigger woman. It's not, and not even just in instances of her actually committing physical adultery with you. In the instances where she's committing spiritual and mental adultery against you, which is why Yahweh Bashmi Shai hates idolatry so much. Because anytime your woman is taking in a different philosophy outside of what you're telling her, you're going to have an issue on your hands. You got some females that are just outright, like the typical Eve, she'll go and just, she'll go and get slayed by your best friend, like this stupid ass thought is telling females to do. And then you got other Eve where they will what's the word? You got other Eve where even if they're not slaying another dude or getting slayed, so like it's getting slayed by another dude behind your back or in the open or whatever the case might be, they're just a problem. They're a problem they're a demon in your life. Because you find them to be more argumentative. They always got a fucking opinion. That's the main key that I've really grown to dislike, especially being in this knowledge and this truth. And, you can dislike something, but you don't get the full understanding until Yahweh Bashmi Shai starts to sup with you. But yeah, like one of the main things I hate about, this whole shit with this shit with women is this whole opinion thing. They think that an opinion equals a fact. And then despite them not choosing to differentiate between those two, they still want to lord over men as if they're equal or they can do just as good as a man, if not better, and that's off. But yeah, right here, I also found this interesting through the spirit. The next video that was below that said, "You're too masculine." That was the caption that this dude, I think his name is Cooley. His podcast is called No Fugazi Podcast, and the brother Thamyad, he did a quick clip on it a while back. I think like about 2 weeks ago on his channel, Saints of Jersey too. So Shalom, Yahweh Bashmi Shai, Barakatham to you and the other Basham Rachakwadash. But that's not the video I wanted to get into. But the point is, let me get the first precept. I went on long enough. I don't normally like to do that. But Proverbs chapter 4, verse 5, and it reads, get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. Amen. So right here, first thing and foremost, I would like to just put the disclaimer out there that this is not a opening for some goofy feminist, you know. And the pathetic thing is, we also got male feminists, which you take that the way you want to take that. So this is not a thing for any of you goofy ass feminists of any gender to take this to mean that, oh, see, wisdom is a woman. So no, stupid. Only, and that just that just shows how carnal individuals are. Wisdom is likened unto a woman because when you apply it properly, it can be a nurturing spirit. All right. When you apply wisdom, let's say, for example, as far as your diet, all right, you apply wisdom such as making sure you have more fruits and vegetables and seeds, nuts, legumes, so forth and so on in your diet than you do meat. Not to say don't eat meat, yeah, but it's just to say don't have excess of meats. But watching out for your diet, that's how you nurture your body. And how do you do that? Through wisdom, okay? As well as various other things, how you deal with people in the world, not just the women, but how you deal with people in the world in general, according to the laws, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. That's the true wisdom, okay? And as far as exalt her, once again, don't take this to mean that, oh, the Lord is telling you to simp for a woman. No, there's no contradiction between this precept and Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. All right, this right here, the same way the Heavenly Father Yahweh exalted Yahweh Shai and put him at his right hand side, is the similar way that you exalt wisdom. How is that? Because he exalted Yahweh Shai, but is Yahweh Shai over the Heavenly Father Yahweh? No. So the same way the same way a husband would exalt his wife, all right, that's basically you giving her the promotion she deserves, but she's not going to be over you. That's off. And no, it doesn't mean you love your wife if you put her over you. It means you actually hate herself. It means you hate her and yourself, because order doesn't come out of that. Yahweh Bashmi Shai is not going to bless a union like that. That's why you see Jake have so many issues in their relationships. You know, whether if you try to put your foot down to be the man, you have, trouble in the flesh, because they don't really like masculine men. They only like the furthest Eve goes with masculinity is when some dude is beating her back in. That's the most her brain can comprehend. It's kind of like a teenager. But actual masculinity, when it comes to the nitty gritty of, hey, do this because I say, or no, that's a bad idea, we not doing that, or actually just being submissive and realizing the man is the head, they got an issue with that. So let me get into this clip right here from what this dude Cooley had.
$5. He says, for babies, why did you not get a ring? Why didn't the first guy stay? Heat of the moment type situation. Yeah, so why didn't the first guy stay, and why didn't you get a ring from any of the baby fathers?
Fair use.
My children.
Was it just a heat of the moment? That's why you had babies? That's what he's asking.
No, I was married to my first two babies' father.
Okay.
And then we were divorced, and then I had twins, FYI. But you don't always have to stay in a relationship where you're not happy.
And that's the bullshit right there. That's one of the main reasons why our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, they keep exhorting us not to marry these modern women. Not to get married on paper in Esau's system. And you're always going to have some goofy ass woman or some simp nigga that's going to run their mouth and act as though, you're a criminal, or that like you're doing something deviant for not wanting to get the devil in your business. As if these niggas haven't been bitching and crying about all of these heartbreaking paternity test results and child support and alimony and all these other things. That comes from trusting a damn child. And yeah, that comment right there that just went away, it's true. Like the girl, if the spirit allows, and I get more into this video, just off of her face alone, but once you actually listen to what comes out of the mouth of the girl with the glasses, you'll see why somebody says she's going to either be a side chick or be alone. Because these females don't understand. Let me go ahead and get it. Let me just go back and get it real quick. Proverbs chapter 31, I believe it's verse 30. I don't really get into it that much. And it reads, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Shai, she shall be praised. And that's true, because this is what this girl had to say.
relationship where you're not happy. Marriage doesn't make you a dignified woman.
It actually does. And the reason why it does is because when women are left to their own devices, they become hoes. Straight up. It doesn't matter what the profession is, man. Like, and that's another thing. When it comes to men, we don't really care about the profession. But if mentioned, speaking as a man myself, you know, there's certain professions in which we just, we learn either through experience or just, however it goes, we just learn that women in certain professions are just hoes, like nurses and certain things like that. Like any of these jobs where it's like women have too much time to themselves, they do hoe shit. They have a male, if they have a male coworker they're cool with, they might be smashing. Or these are all things that men have to factor in before they actually put a ring on a woman. And, this is why you have to get into the knowledge of these scriptures through the Spirit and probably how Bosh Shai, once he gives you that calling and that mercy of the calling. Because if you don't apply these precepts, you'll be thinking with your rod and you'll end up getting some woman pregnant or putting a ring on it just in the heat of the moment, just because your hormones is running high, and you'll end up regretting it. Because this is how these women think. They think that marriage doesn't make them dignified, but what are they doing? What are they saying out their mouth? She thinks that because she's unhappy, she could just leave a marriage. But this is how you know that Yahweh Bash Miao Shai is not dealing with these individuals, man. This is how you know, because you'd be wasting your time trying to pull out the precepts on a woman about how that defiles her. These women don't care about that. If they really, come on now. And that just proves the point. When they're left to themselves, they become hoes. They don't care. If you could even explain to them how it physically and spiritually defiles them to leave a marriage. And first off, how the Lord doesn't even allow a woman to leave a marriage. But this is why Apostle Paul's letters apply to us so much today, because he knew through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, we would, as men, we would be in a situation as Israelite men. We would be in a land, a strange land, a strange country where with strange, degenerate laws that allow women to do crap like this that ends up destroying them long terms. This is why even if these women don't end up physically deleted, let me get the precept. I believe it's 1 Timothy chapter 5. It's been a while. 1 Timothy chapter 5. I think it's in verse 6. Come. Here we go. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 2. And it reads, "The elder women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity. Honor widows that are widows indeed. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home, and to requite their parents. For that is acceptable. For that is good and acceptable before the Most High Power Yahweh." Verse 5. "Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate trusteth in the Most High Power Yahweh, and continueth in supplications and prayers night and day." And here's the point, verse 6. "But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth." Right. Because these women out here that keep claiming that they want to leave a marriage because they weren't happy. Look, man, shut up. Shut up. Because what does happiness truly consist of for a woman? Happiness for a woman is like water. It changes based off of the form of the vessel that it inhabits. So 1 minute her happiness could be in the form of a damn what is that? The form of a pyramid, the form of a cube. It changes, man. Another reason why the Lord Yahweh Shai made them the weaker vessel and did not make them to lead. He made them to be led. So yeah, when a true man of understanding, a man of Yahweh Shai leads a woman, she doesn't have to worry about all this crap that I wanted to be happy. Look, man, and then this is why the apostles and the elders keep saying, don't wife these women. They think it's robbery for them to be wives. They think it's robbery for them to be a mother. Because they think and that's the main part of that. They think it's robbery to actually have responsibilities. But they don't realize that feminism doesn't help you escape that. Feminism helps you redirect it towards your enemy. So when you're out here with a body count and you got multiple kids by multiple different dudes having to explain yourself on a podcast how you ended up in that situation to reduce the blow of shame, you still won't. It's not going to make a difference, man.
Make you a dignified woman. If you need to have emotional security to make a happy household, to raise good children, do that first.
And no matter how much they try to like make themselves sound smart, this shit is still stupid. There's no way around it. The shit is dumb as hell. You know, and this is another reason why we have to get up out of here, man. Because Esau, he did a number knowing how much the Israelite man loves women, how much he loves, box, how much he wants to reproduce and procreate and make children and actually have marriage in the biblical format. But Esau, he's polluted everything, to the food, to the women, the dynamic between brothers, how you make money, what you can buy, when you can buy it, how you can buy it, starting businesses. He's the devil, man. He's the devil. And this is why, through the spirit, it keeps being revealed to you, Jakes, man, that feminism, it's one of the main poisons that this serpent put out there, man. Because we got these hoes out here trying to sound smart and trying to be philosophers instead of just spreading their legs. This shit is off. You got it also where women who probably aren't even hoes, they'll dress like hoes, which is confusing. But you got the hoes that will try to dress somewhat normal, but they want you to treat them like wives. It's all backwards.
You don't need to stay in a marriage or in a relationship
So you said
that you
don't marry these women, man.
feel satisfied.
You said you don't need to stay in a marriage or a relationship to raise good children. Well, statistics show that single mother households leads kids to degeneracy. So the fact is that you have a higher probability of staying in a relationship, even though your feelings aren't as secure, or your feelings, he's not making you feel good. It's a better thing to stay in a relationship with the man.
Households need.
Which also shows you that these women don't love their children. Because how many, look, man, I know we have a reputation, due to the curses of brothers of the nation of Israel not being there for their children, okay? You got that heavy amongst Southern Kingdom, sometimes amongst Northern Kingdom, all right, for one reason or the other. But when you do see brothers in similar situations of just being outright unhappy, like a woman is completely being a damn demon, but the brother loves his children, he'll fight for custody. Brothers will be in custody battles for years over their children, months and years, just to get their child, which goes back to the law. It goes back to the righteous way Yahweh Shai put in us. This is why he's dealing with the men. But the point is, man, these women don't care about their children, man. Like, their children is just a cute little caption on Instagram to them. They don't understand the true structure a child needs. Once a woman starts thinking of her emotions, bro, it's a wrap. You don't expect anything logical to come out of her mouth. Don't expect anything logical to come of her actions. Let me get that precept real quick. The book of Job, chapter 39, I'll start at verse 30. It's like at verse 13. Job chapter 39, verse 13, and it reads, Gavest thou goodly wings unto the peacock, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in the dust? All right, which means she nurtures them, for a time. Here goes verse 15. And forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because the Most High Power Yahweh hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. What time she lifteth up herself on high, she scorneth the horse and his rider. Right, these women don't like to be put in place, but they need it because, the Lord right here through the beloved prophet Job, he likened these women unto a very dumb animal, a dumb bird. And also, that's beautiful because a bird is a term that's used for a hoe, essentially. There's plenty of bird terms that's used for these hoes out here that don't really think, and that's all they good for is just smashing. And it gets to a point where Jake don't care for that, man. That's why Jake is basically dealing with women of the other nations. If he has to deal with a woman that's here in Babylon the Great, he's dealing with he's dealing with the Edomite woman and just the women of the other nations in general, man. Because these women amongst the tribes, especially the Southern Kingdom women, they just off. But that's the point, man. Like the Lord is saying that these women, they'll nurture their children for a while. They'll nurture them on a superficial level, like, oh, I buy my children lunch for school, this and that. Whoopty-wompty, they got clothes on their back, whatever. But you basically are raising broken individuals that are going to be loose in society and become a headache for those that are around them because you don't understand responsibility and order and duty because you have a childlike mentality when it comes to sex. Another thing the scriptures would have patched up and sewed up and you understand it, but these women don't want to understand it, man. They just want to do what they want to do, man. They treat their box like a toy. They're like children with a toy that they don't want to let go of and they don't really know how to use. They don't follow the instructions on. And then when it's broken, they want to cry. Like, no, when it's broken and nobody wants to play with them, then they want to cry. No, you've been told what to do. And yeah, when it says she forgetteth that the foot may crush them or that the wild beast may break them, that can get into how these women, they don't understand that the lack of structure that their children are being provided by them breaking up the home with all this divorce shit over just petty childish crap, that deprives your child of very necessary pivotal structure. All right. Fundamental things that a child, whether a son or a daughter, needs from their father being there. When a son sees his father in the house setting down the order, okay, he understands how he needs to be as a man. He understands a woman's place. He understands that a woman is at her best to be a mother when the father's in the house and he's setting down order. When the daughter sees that, she sees her father doing what he needs to do despite tough situations. She understands that, oh, well, okay, this is the type of man that she needs to protect her when she comes of age, when she becomes a young woman and it's time for her to get married. She understands that it's not about some nigga dressing all whatever the hell. And it's not about having a damn pretty boy, man, because the world is a rough place. When all hell breaks loose, the world is not going to care that you're married to a nigga that has the freshest J's on. That just sounds stupid as hell. If anything, the pretty boys is going to be they're going to be some of the first licks. But yeah, man, like these women, they destroy these children, man. Like these children are just basically walking dead, just like their mothers. And this is why it says the Most High is deprived of wisdom, neither have he parted to her understanding. And what time she setteth herself up on high, she scorneth the horse and his rider, right? And the horse and his rider, okay, that could be likened unto who has the rulership. And in these cases, it's supposed to be the man over the woman. So it's backwards for these women to just be leaving and divorcing and all this other crap, breaking up the household, because of their own whimsical bullshit. And then they don't even have the wherewithal to realize that them doing that, it brings a lack of order that causes more dysfunction. Not just in the children's lives, but that's the reason why they have a succession of dudes they deal with after the fact that are just using them for sex. And for those that don't use them for sex, they're simps that don't understand their value. And the woman subconsciously doesn't respect them anyway. So it's a lose-lose situation because they're not moving in the wisdom of Yahweh Basham Yahushua.
Need
for
two
the better,
parents,
look, for the better
not
of the
just
kids.
mothers and fathers. I believe households do need two parents because sometimes you just want to break. You need someone to help you out. It doesn't need to be a man and a woman.
What the chat
it can be a woman and a woman. It can be a man and a man. Households need.
See, there's that weird crap right there. This is why the Lord has deprived them of wisdom and have not imparted unto them understanding. And this also shows a disdain for you men. Like, the more you pay attention, the more you understand why the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushua, when it's on our elders and apostles to speak about these topics and not getting married to these women, that's why. Because Jake, you are not gonna get what you are what whatever ideals you have of marriage, you're not gonna get it from these women. They're childish, they're delusional. The way these women are moving in marriage and in relationships in general, the thought process they have towards that would be the equivalent of us as men. Uh Put it like this. If us men just got with these women, and when it came time to go to work, we tell these women every single day we going to work. And what we really doing is we basically we out here pretending like we out here going out to play Power Rangers or some shit. I'm just thinking of shit from our childhood. And we telling her that we're actually going to work. She would tell us, "No, you're playing Power Rangers, you're playing games, you're not working." It's a similar thing when it comes to these women and their perception of what a relationship is supposed to be, what marriage is supposed to be. They have a childlike, adolescent, a childish, just sex is for fun type mentality, and that's not how it goes. And because that's the foundation of where they at, thanks to Esau, Edom, all right, that's why they go into these marriages ready to leave you if they feel bored or they feel like they're not happy. Not happy is relative. I'm not happy that I have to go to work every single day to the plantation. I'm not happy that I even have to call that work, but I have to do it to get it done. I have to get my daily bread. All right. I'm not happy that I'm in captivity under those who hate me. And 2/3 of our people are just are in league with the bull crap. But I still got to do the work of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. So what helps balance out all that I don't like is an adult emotion called accountability. So like you're not an emotion, but this concept called accountability, responsibility, duty, these words right here, which takes maturity, which these women don't really have. They physically mature, they reach the flower of their age and whoopty-wompty, but they're off.
Need two people
No.
to help children.
No. Wait, Gab.
People.
Any type of help, I agree.
Gab, what? What? Men and men? Men and men can't raise no kids, and a woman and woman can't raise no goddamn kids.
Yes, they can. With integrity and love and honor.
That guy can raise it better, actually.
Can.
Because since you're so full of masculinity, that's so much masculinity.
No, that isn't masculine.
And that's what I was talking about with the girl with the glasses. Just shut the hell up, man. Like, these females think that like, when they throw out the words like masculinity, too much masculinity, toxic masculinity, just shut the fuck up. They just want to be hoes, man. And this is why brothers in the truth basically say what they say when they say these women, they want simps. And Elder Mahaloya said it at his live camp. He said, GMS will not simp. And that's the spirit that all brothers have to be in, man. Because, look, simping is the original sin for man. When you go back to the garden. And I'm saying simping to just put it in layman's terms for Jake. Because, when you use certain words, Jake don't feel like studying. And it's all about, getting short straight, keeping it short and getting to the point. But, yeah. They think they deep when they talking all this, that's too much masculinity. That's your problem. These females are literally children, man. They think that a rod is a toy to play with. They think their box is a toy to stick the rod in, and the good sensation that comes with it that makes them feel good. That's all it's for. They forget, yes, sex makes babies, but going on.
And on top of it, even if they are gay, then they have love as well, so they actually have better.
Two men in a relationship, that isn't masculinity. That's devil. That's two devils. That's two demons raising kids. Them kids gonna be
not right.
devils.
Love is love.
You're gonna have little devils running around with a tail behind them. Little devils running around. What the freak? What's going on here, man?
Be raised with integrity and
this
honor.
Podcast is called No Fugazi, and we don't accept sodomy. No anal and anal. Matter of fact.
And this is another reason why I don't respect these red pill dudes, man. Because, yeah, the dude, Cooley, he makes good points. But this is why, like, I've always been of the mind, I don't respect red pill dudes. Because these dudes obviously watch the camps, man. Especially the Elder Apostles and the Elder Bishops of Great Millstone. They watch and they glean these it's not little, Salakia. They glean knowledge from the precepts that are brought out and broken down by elders and apostles. But Are these brothers convicted enough in their spirit to go to the highways and the hedges? No. They want to do podcasts. They want to argue with these stupid ass wildebeests. They want to argue with these, not argue, but they want to just make sensationalism by going back and forth with these thoughts and confounding them and making them rage quit and walk out the room. Nobody got time for that, man. These thoughts are going to be thoughts. It's not about trying to convince these hoes to not be hoes. It's about doing the work of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, preaching the gospel the way the Lord told us to preach it, coming under order, and once the elect is sealed and Jacob's troubles start, then the works that you built up by having faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and doing what he commanded you to do will end up delivering you out of many situations, which at the same time will build your faith even more so. So we can get up out of here and get into the kingdom of heaven. Jake wastes too much time with the sensationalism, bro. This is why it's like, look, everything that they're saying, the scriptures have already said it. And not just said it. It's not about saying it for shock value. It's about actually applying it to the best of your ability. Now, when we were sovereign, we would just apply it. I wouldn't even have to say to the best of our ability. It would just be done. It wouldn't be any women talking about they're not. No. Oh, I'm not happy. I want to leave the marriage. You don't got to fucking say. You leave the marriage, you automatically a hoe. A woman is not made to ride the cock carousel, man. She's just not. And you can see why. The more they do that, the more they become argumentative, the more they got 1,001 philosophies in their head about what determines a hoe versus a woman. And they try to blend the two because everything else is blended in their brain and it took too many semen, man. It took too much different seeds, bro. They got too many vibrations on them. And it's real. The pair bond, it gets destroyed. And then also, they have to, even if they don't admit it, they have to rationalize that they hoard. They got to rationalize their whoredom. So every time it's brought up and every time something is said that can cut them, they have to reject it. They have to have a rebuttal. But yeah, the point is, these guys be listening to the videos, man. But the other point is, it goes back into what's already in the precepts, bro. Yes, it's an abomination for two people of the same gender to be raising a child, and these goofy ass, these women right here, these birds, are sitting right here talking about, oh, well, two people that love each other, the children can be raised by two people that love. No, that's inordinate affection. That's abominable, and that's going to destroy the children. This is why these sodomites are trying so hard to teach people's children in these schools, man. And I remember a while back when they, I forgot what bill they passed about these alphabet rights. It was after Obama. It had to have been like during Trump's, was it during Trump's presidency? Probably like towards the end of his presidency or some shit. But they passed some law giving these alphabet people additional rights more than what they already had. And one of the first things some of these weirdos said, I think it was the Transformers that said it. They said, "We're coming for your children." I don't remember the exact dates, but certain things, even if I don't remember the exact date, I'll never forget my emotion in that moment when I heard it. And I was vexed in the spirit, and that's why I can easily remember. And this is why, through the knowledge and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and the precepts, the understanding of these precepts and what we're subjected to in this captivity, it fuels my disdain for these type of abominations to go down. And any brother that's in this knowledge and this truth should feel the same way. And understanding that it goes deeper than what we dislike. It's literally watching the creation being mismanaged.
Real quick to the chat. Let me talk to y'all.
Mommies?
To the chat. Let me talk to y'all.
Chat.
Let me talk to y'all.
And right here, comment said at the 2:33 mark, which is what we're talking about right now. Wait a minute, I don't concur with this.
In the chat right now. If y'all have anal sex with your girl, anal sex with a girl is gay. Stop doing it.
These dudes listen to the videos, man. I can't count on both hands the amount of times that I've at least heard Elder Hawad or Elder Apostle Rachab mention that Jake need to stop doing that, stop dealing with that backdoor crap. And that's just to name two elders in Great Millstone. These dudes watch the videos, bro. The Lord ain't gonna excuse none of this. Now, all of these videos, they cool, and you can glean certain things through the spirit from these videos, but ultimately the Lord gonna start judging. If I got a feeling Cooley's a Jake, but the Lord gonna start judging our people, bro. There's no excuse. Jake know what's going on, bro. Jake know enough. If you know enough about these precepts, you know what it is.
anal sex,
Oh
bro.
my God.
That's
That's
sodomy.
your
That's
business.
gay.
That is
Also,
their business. That is no one's business what they do in the bedroom.
listen, you one step closer. You one step closer of doing some. Listen, bro, it's degenerate. It's perverted. Think about it. Your mind already went there. Think about the steps it take to get to. Man, I don't know the steps it take, but god dang, don't do it, man. It just isn't right.
What you do in the bedroom for your pleasure is for your business.
Gabs, no, them.
This is why it's not the place of a woman to fucking teach, bro. Just shut up. And this is why it's also called effeminate when Jake moves outside of the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, because you move into the lawless zone. Anything goes. You become a beast. This is why the Lord likens the nations unto beasts. Beasts move off of instinct. This is why when you have a domestic animal, or whether it's for livestock or just, a house pet, this is why certain pets like dogs or oxen or donkeys, you got to smite them at times to keep them in line. No matter how much, they train, you still got to get them in line again. With a horse, you got to, apply the bit and the bridle. When you actually riding on horseback, you need to use the bit and the bridle to make sure the horse is going the way that you want it to go. Same thing. Men have been designed by Yahweh to be the stronger vessel. Women are the weaker vessel. Why are men the stronger vessel? Because we have to stomach things we don't like. And even if and aside from the things we don't like, let's say we have to do things that are difficult consistently. And that builds, just like with muscle training, that resistance training and stuff like that, it builds character. It strengthens you where when it comes time to do it, you just snap into it. So all the hesitation that a woman would have, that time that she's spending hesitating, you already 10 minutes into getting the task accomplished. And that same thing applies when working around other men. I remember one time the elder Amawan Gabar from the main camp, he mentioned that, even being at the plantation, you got certain dudes that'll ask for help with something before he even tries it himself. And the elder was like, man, look, man, get out the way, man. Did you even try this shit? I'll just do it myself. Fuck out of here. So basically, that's the type of spirit we also got to have when dealing amongst each other and when dealing amongst, women. You ain't got to waste time waiting for them to, No, you got to understand that when people is not moving in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, they're not firing on all cylinders in one shape or form or the other.
A man and a woman, they're raising devils. But anyways, let's move right along. And also, you said a couple things there, too. You said, but I kind of forgot. I do want to get into it. I'm not letting nothing slide today. So
please don't.
What did you say in the beginning before I went off on that tangent?
You went red.
Why? I could kind of remember.
Whoa.
On why you was in a relationship and didn't get a ring. I know you said that we spoke about the family structure as far as you agreed. You said, well, the kid does need two parents.
Yeah.
But then you went off the rails by saying it could be a man and a man, or a woman or a woman. That's off the rails. That's crazy.
Once again, they watched the videos. Because before listening to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, and whatever camps teach somewhat of the same aspects of the doctrine, because most of these camps are going off. But I'll just say, before listening to the camps that are teaching the 100% doctrine, which is Great Millstone, and those on the other teach the likewise doctrine, a lot of these jakes had the mentality of, they don't want to be mophobic, or, if it's not bothering anybody, do what you do, just keep it away from me. Now all of a sudden, you got more of these red pill guys that's taking more of a biblical stance against the alphabet activity. Damn well Jake wasn't caring about that, bro. We know Jake. Jake doesn't want responsibility. Jake wants to glean what he wants to glean from the law, statutes, and commandments. And it's nothing against Cooley personally. It's just saying this is just one thing I noticed about the red pill community that made me never really like it. It's just they move in a sense like, yeah, they have the persona of being masculine, but they move just like the fucking woman, man. Gleaning what they want to glean from something, but still ducking the overall true responsibility. And ultimately, it's all the will of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, because, the Lord, he's the ultimate chess player, man. There's certain things that these podcast dudes can handle and have to do that the men of the Lord don't have the time to do. We have a more important office, but, that's the purpose of these guys, on a spiritual level, for brothers to, here and there glean information from their videos and, for those that may be watching, give the proper breakdown as to, how to apply the truth of these interactions and how you need to apply them in the coming days, because this is all fun and games while society has the illusion of being intact. But in Jacob's trouble, all this podcast red pill shit, it's not gonna matter, man. You won't be able to apply it. You just won't. But the best parts of it is the aspects that they, glean and took in from the scriptures after listening to our elder apostles and elder bishops break down these precepts and brothers on down. But, moving on.
Crazy. But let's bring it back. You said something else before that. What else were you saying within that?
That
Steve, you remember?
If you need to leave a relationship for your peace of mind and your emotional security, that is what's going to raise the best child. I do not believe...
Their peace of mind is always based on a whim, man. Always based on a whim. And this is why men often say that you can't take a woman's word for it. This is why there's so many simps out here. There's so many dudes that's so down bad. They don't care about how a woman previously left a relationship and none of that type of stuff. And yeah, we all been there to a degree while we was in the world. But I'm talking about instances where, these women are talking about all this crap about how she wasn't happy. What made her not happy? You got some women that ain't happy if you don't blow their back in 3 times a day. You got some women that's not happy unless you fucking spend $1,000 on them or $3,000 or $5,000 on them. I don't know, like within a 2-week span or some crap. Like you got a bunch of unreasonable expectations that these women carry, and when you get to the nitty gritty of if you're a real man, if you're Halabash Mel Shai supping with you, you can perceive through the spirit that these expectations are not even really expectations. They're just a list of shit tests that they give to simp men. And then if a masculine man perceives that, then they have an issue with that and they'll say too masculine, like the little buckethead right here with the glasses.
Believe in raising a child in a miserable household with 2 partners who hate each other. That's not worth...
I agree.
Raising a...
Of course you would agree, because you a damn thought. But anyway, the other issue is that whole 2 partners that don't agree. Women have a habit of saying like really bearing false witness, to say the least. We know this, but to break it down further, women will lie and say we don't agree and we hate each other. No, you hate being told what to do, and all the, not in every situation, because, wicked woman's giving fortune to a wicked man, vice versa. But in these situations where these women leave and she doesn't seem like she's any worse for wear, she seems like a woman who got exactly what she wanted and left when she wanted. In the sense of, okay, she was there and she was unhappy because she wasn't getting, whatever frivolous stuff she wanted. And because of this wicked society we're in that allow you to divorce when you want to over stupid crap if you're a woman, she did that, and she feels comfortable to say the dumb crap she's saying. But ultimately, they say this crap to make it seem as though they were in the right or they made a wise decision. No, you didn't. Moving like this 9 times out of 10, it just creates detrimental side effects. It's not about, we don't like each other. Look, certain times you're not going to have time to just smash all the time. You're not going to have time to always go out if you got children. All right? But often, another reason why is because a lot of these women, like I said, they got too many whimsical desires and this shit they want to do that's not nonsensical. That's nonsensical. Similar to that girl that spent what was that? Nearly $2,000 to take a picture with Chris Brown or get a fake wedding proposal. Some stupid crap. But when it's not even something extreme as that, oftentimes these women that are like this, they have dumbass whims that they want a man to cater to, and then when he doesn't, she's acting like she's hated. When you got women in other countries that are lucky to just to get clean running water, or to lucky to actually get a plate of red meat or whatever type of animal that they want that we take for granted over here. Like you take chicken for granted, or beef or goat or lamb, but in these other nations you would have to find and capture and slaughter these animals. You take deer for granted, you take all these other things for granted. But a man hates you because he doesn't let you do whatever childish crap you want to do whenever you want to do it. Moving on.
Child into a proper human being, because that's going to teach a child how to interact in their future relationships.
So, Gab, you was married, right? And
oh man, that's like trying to teach a child math without numbers. This is the stupidity behind actions that are rooted in emotions and not wisdom and knowledge and understanding of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah.
What is a marriage to you? What's the marriage vows that you took? Through death do us part, through rich or poor, and good health or sick, right? So those are the vows that you took. I think I said it right, but
and what Cooley just said just proves that even in this system that you simps keep on fighting for with this marriage contract shit, the women don't even honor that. Keep telling you, don't get married via Esau's system. Let me get that precept. The water Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 3 once again, but this time I'm going to get verse 31. And it reads, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. For the froward is abomination to the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shah, but his secret is with the righteous. And what's one of those ways that you jackasses are always choosing? Oh man, I fuck with her. She's a solid chick, man. I'm gonna get married to her. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Jake has a habit of putting. Jake don't know what real wealth is. Jake don't know what really making it really is. He thinks that, okay, I got out the hood, or I got out of a bad situation. I got a little bit of money in my pocket. I went to school. All right, I found a pretty looking girl. She got a good enough head on her shoulders. Good enough ain't good enough. And next thing you know, you get married to her and honeymoon phase is over. Or, come on, bro. Everything about this marriage system under Esau is off. From the bachelorette party to the fact that your woman can walk down the aisle with a white dress on, which is supposed to represent purity, virginity, and she's not a virgin, gets married to you, things are cool. Then she starts acting like a damn child. And no, man. No. That's Esau. He did that so he can make money. Even Esau knows the shit don't work. That's why Esau, he hates his women. That's why one of the reasons he hates his women is because she, the Lord, man, Yahweh Bashmi Shah is terrifying. He put it in Esau's spirit to make this bugged out marriage system and give all this power to the woman, so when the shoe's on the other foot, ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Now Esau, he gets taken for alimony because, he has all the resources. Okay, cool. You got some of these Edomite women that are just marrying these Edomites they can't stand just to get his money and take them for half in a divorce or alimony settlement. You got it where these women can even get awarded money even though she committed adultery against you. But, by all means, don't choose the scriptures. Keep on cherry picking the scriptures and gleaning precepts that you want to glean when it's convenient to you and ignoring the rest of the scriptures. By all means. And right here in verse 32 where it says, for the froward is abomination to the Lord Yahweh, but his secret is with the righteous. One of the secrets he gives the righteous is understanding how to navigate in this system. Understanding if there's aspects of this system that we don't have to partake in, we don't partake in it. No one's putting a gun in your head and say get a marriage license. You got worldly niggas that don't get married. And I'm not talking about the ones that are just running around here, smashing left and right. You got some men that just focus on getting their money. And there's nothing wrong with doing that as long as you're not putting money over your Halabash me on shy. But there's a reason for that, man. Even a woman that's in order is a financial responsibility, but it becomes less of a burden to you if she's in order. These women are not in order in their financial burden, responsibility.
Or sick, right? So those are the vows that you took. I think I said it right, but that was good enough. But it's through sick or in good health, rich or poor, and death.
But it doesn't always fall like that.
No,
Sometimes
listen. That's the
Look, ho, sometimes things happen does not mean you be a demon in the relationship and try to manipulate. I get fucking tired of hearing these women's dumbass excuses, man. And Esau did a good ass job of making this place a complete hell and just vexing the men of the Lord in the spirit. It becomes easy to just reject even the prettiest of women and just walk right past them these days, because you have to realize that just like if you was about to buy a new Benz or something like that, and you seen that it looks good on the outside, but you open up the inside of the car and it smells like ass. And once you actually turn the car on, it barely turns on. You can barely move it 3 miles an hour. That's these women. That's these women, man. That's these modern Babylonian women. These two Turdians. That's them. Not worth it. Are they righteous sisters? Absolutely. This isn't a rant against women. This is just spiritual talk. And it was on my spirit to get this before I forget. I don't want to rot to Zah, because it was some good points that was made. And I found that, wow. It's just like this is good, a good reminder for brothers to stay in the spirit for these coming days, because Isaiah 4:1 is right around the corner. And it's not to say be pressed and act like a kid in the candy shop. Jake had a habit of doing that when he first got into the truth, but it's about understanding the time you're coming in. You ain't got to do all this red pill bull crap to get a woman. Now, take care of yourself. Obviously, the scriptures command you to, take care of yourself in so many different words. Obviously, keep your hygiene up, get your daily bread, carry yourself like a man, according to Yahweh Bashmi al-Shai. But don't do so much for the sake of a fucking woman. Do it because that's what you're supposed to do as a man, as a prince of the power. And then the women are going to come along anyway, because once all hell breaks loose, they're going to realize that all these games they kept on playing was all for naught.
As you take as getting married, right? This is why I'm saying that women are slaves to their emotions, or we can say you're only loyal to your emotions.
Same thing. Because we slaves to Yahweh Bashmi al-Shai, we're prisoners of hope. And with that comes a loyalty to Yahweh Bashmi al-Shai. So what Cooley said, I get why he kind of corrected himself, but no, it was on point. Same difference. Same thing. All right. If you're a slave to your emotions, you're loyal to your emotions. Even though your emotions ain't loyal to you, your emotions can get you in some fucked up situations. That's the flesh, which is why the Lord says walk in the spirit, so as not to fulfill the lust of the flesh in the book of Galatians, the 5th chapter. But, women don't do that. Another reason that they're the weaker vessel. It's not an insult, it's just a fact. And just like anything, once you acknowledge your weakness, that's when the strength comes in. We acknowledge that we're not perfect and that we need Yahweh Shai. So we come off more masculine than other men, because we are more masculine than other men, because Yahweh Shai is supping with us because of our humility. Likewise, these women would humble down and show some damn humility. Not fake it, because they're good at that, but they actually exhibit humility and sincerity, then actual righteous men that fulfill them would deal with them. Will you have trouble in the flesh? Sure, you're in the flesh. But all this feeling unsatisfied bull crap that they always talking about, that wouldn't be the case so much if the Lord was dealing with them.
Because based off of how you feel made you leave that marriage.
You don't know the details of why.
Based off of how you feel. All these women, bro, they are always going to try to sound deep and make the shit seem deeper than it actually is, to cover up how stupid they actually look for making the decision.
I left
man.
my marriage.
Yeah.
And I'm not actually going to say I agreed to those terms of till death do us part, for sicker or poor, for richer. Not everyone has to.
You do remember it.
First and foremost, typically when you go down that aisle, whether it's said or not, it's implied. And if it's not, then that just another reason, come on now, another reason that you Jakes need to stop marrying these Babylonian women. They will agree to something, and then when shit gets messy, or, the good, the bad, and the ugly, they accept the good, they start to show their true characters in the bad, and they start to completely wild out or just leave you when it comes to the ugly. looking for any excuse to just avoid responsibility, whether it comes to being your wife or being the mother of your children. It has to be said for it to be a part of the agreement. What? And even if it's said, you don't honor it. I didn't agree to those. What did you agree to? To just get smashed and then just run amok over this dude like he's your little brother? What the fuck?
What? Not everyone has to get married under those pretenses. Marriages can be out of love within the moment.
These women are just vapid, bro. Like, just stupid as hell. Love within the moment. Just say one night stand. Like, come on.
Happen for all different reasons. They don't have to be under the vows. Yeah. Those vows.
Well, that isn't a marriage. Do you think a marriage is a partnership?
Can I just say
one thing? I'll let you go. Let me just finish the discourse.
I really wish he didn't let her go. Watch this shit.
So write it down. I got you. I'm gonna really give it back to you, Jax.
Marriage is a partnership.
Jack. Okay, yeah. So all right. You said marriage is a partnership?
Another issue. These women go into these marriages thinking that they're equal to you. And then when you explain to them that they're not, they make it seem as though you're a slave driver, when Esau is slave driving all of us in actuality. But it's like these women only want to be your slave if you putting it down in bed. Like, that shit is... And when I say these women, once again, I'm talking about these two Tertians. I'm not talking about the elect sisters that, you know, that are basically seeking Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, truth and sincerity, and coming under order. They're being blessed, and whatever hell they catch, the Lord is still dealing with them. He's refining them. He's not destroying them. These women, contrary to popular belief, the Lord doesn't like stupidity, and he doesn't need it. So the same way you see these animals get treated in nature, where, you know, the strong survive and the weak don't, that's the environment Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is going to make in Jacob's trouble. Times 700. Because people that's this stupid don't need to be here, man. They don't need to procreate. They don't need to be just wasting breath. And the Lord's going to show you that mercy is up. It was enough mercy to let people like this just be here. But when they got to spew their bull crap, like, no.
Okay. The reason why you left your marriage is because you believe marriage is a partnership. Because...
The reason why I left my marriage is because marriage is a partnership?
No, I said...
Because you believe it. And that's another thing, bro. Like, I understand in conversations women don't... Not just women, but people... Sometimes we mishear like a word or two when we got to ask. But one thing I noticed about these type of women, when they do that, it's because they're not really spiritually there anyway. They dissociate when truth starts to come out. Like, come on, you know, he said the reason why you left is because you feel like marriage is a partnership. Yes, feel, because marriage is not a partnership. Just because there's certain things you do together, it doesn't make it a partnership. All right, like, okay, a brother may be physically standing right next to an elder, doesn't make them partners. Moving on.
You go ahead and give that to her real quick, Steve. Yeah, so
Oh, and that's another one. How many times do these women stand next to a boss or the supervisor at their job or whatever, like just to have a conversation or ask them about what's to be done next? All right. And how many times would they stand next to their supervisor and assume that they're partners just because they're standing next to them because they have to do a project or something together? Like, come on now. This is why the elders and apostles say what they say, man. These women worship Esau, man. They don't marry him.
Saying, I asked you a question. Do you believe marriage is a partnership? And you said yes.
Yes.
And I'm saying the reason why you left your marriage is because you believe marriage is a partnership. And I'll explain to you why. Because what you think, you will act, right? There's thinking and there's actions. No one really acts without thinking. You thinking is subconsciously thinking. You thinking before you act, right? So the fact that you think that marriage is a partnership and not an actual marriage is the fact that you left your marriage because
you lost me.
Of course he did. But this is the reason, see, right here, this minute mark, this is the reason why the men of the Lord cleave to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and the precepts that he gave us. This is why we stick to holy conversation. We can't avoid the filth of this world, but what we can do is apply the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in all of our ways to the best of our abilities. You know? And one of the ways in which we do that is understanding that, look, you have to walk in the spirit. You have to, let me go ahead and get the precept, because, you know, he said something that reminded me. It was a precept that I wanted. It was 2 precepts, but this is the one that's sticking out the most. The book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1. In the subheading, it says, the righteous and the wicked contrasted. And the other one I wanted to get, let me hold that one. I'm going to hold this one and come back to Psalms. Abundance of the heart. I think it's in the New Testament. All right. Come on. So I'm going to give Psalms first. Psalm chapter 1. The subheading says, the righteous and the wicked contrasted, and it reads, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Right, and going into what he said about, first there's thinking and there's action, that all goes back to the precepts. Verse 3, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. This is why we meditate on these precepts, man. Because what you think, you will do. Especially if it's something that you delight in. Like if I keep thinking about how I want to, you know, smash this particular woman, eventually I'm going to do it. You know, if it be the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So likewise, if you keep meditating upon these precepts and striving for these masteries, and you pray to the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to give you wisdom, and you listen to the elders' discourse, then you'll eventually start to move in a way that's pleasing unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because he sees that diligence. And because the Lord will not break his word, this precept starts to be applied. Then you start to activate Psalms, the 1st chapter, starting from verse 1 to verse 3. Now, getting back here, Matthew chapter 12, verse 34, and this is red letters of Lord Yahweh speaking, and it reads, O generation of vipers, how can ye speak evil? So like, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Right, so this is another reason why men find themselves having to rebuttal the stupid crap that women say. Okay? Because if it's not according to wisdom, and you know, whether Jake watches the videos or not, we are the children of the Heavenly Father, man. The Spirit beareth witness. So we understand that when something is just stupid, we don't want to accept it. We don't even want to give it airtime. Because you don't need to hear any stupidity, man. You need to be as wise as you possibly can. The flesh, it has an abundance of stupidity that it wants to bring to your heart, your mind. But when you keep meditating and absorbing wisdom, and, you know, like they say in the world, soaking up game, then you start to emanate game. You know, just another fancy word of saying like you have a aura of game, like it just starts to pour out of you. Okay, just like, you know, in Dragon Ball Z with that Super Saiyan aura. You know, the men of the Lord have an aura about them, man. Scripture says wisdom maketh the man face to shine, roughly paraphrasing, but it's true. And I think it's Ephesians chapter 5, verse 8, the next precept. No, it's not that one. I keep forgetting it. Let me see. I'll get it in the blue letter. Good manners. The water about me shot. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33, and it reads, be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners. All right. It's another good, and this is why it's always a good practice to just, you know, avoid stupid and vain conversations. And, you know, Jake gets tripped up over English words sometimes, so let's go deep into the Greek.
Strong's G, 2556. Kakos. Kakos.
Kakos, outline the biblical usage of a bad nature, not such as it ought to be, of a mode of thinking, feeling, or acting, base, wrong, wicked, troublesome, injurious, pernicious, destructive, baneful. Okay? And that word baneful, I think Elder Apostle Tahar, he got into that word yesterday, and that word bane, it goes into it even goes into death. Okay? So these ways that these women are falling out the Esau's vibration are death ways. They're ways of perdition. And perdition, just a fancy way of saying destruction. They don't lead to any long-term righteous benefits. There's no long-term good that's going to come out of these women just divorcing and hopping from rod to rod, man. It's just not. Not for them, not for the children. Because the women are going to find themselves always constantly having to make a fucking excuse as to why they're not a whore, even though they're a whore. And then they're going to keep making excuses as to why, it's just all types of stupidity that comes with it. Then they're going to have to make excuses as to why they have thus many children. Then if a real man actually pulls their card and doesn't want to deal with them, then they sad. Then they want to go to the club and they want to, smoke, drink, and screw away the pain. And this is everything that the scriptures is trying to protect our people from. And I'm assuming both of those girls that's in this video are Northern Kingdom. I'm just assuming just off of the appearance. Could be Southern Kingdom. You never know with Jake, but it is what it is. Whatever tribes they come from, it's just going to show that, and whether they actually Jake or not, this is informative for the nation of Israel, man, as to what not to do, and why Yahweh Shemiel Shai's ways, even when we don't understand them, why his ways are always wise. Just because you don't understand the sun, it doesn't mean it's not about to shine in a few hours. It's going to do what it do. So the truth is even greater than that, because it's the word of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, which is above all of those things. But yeah, evil communication corrupts good manners, man. Let's get the word for corrupt.
Strong's G 5351. Thyro.
Thyro. Outline of biblical usage: to corrupt, to destroy. In the opinion of the Jews, the temple was corrupted or destroyed when anyone defiled or in the slightest degree damaged anything in it, or if its guardians neglected their duties to lead away a Israelite church from the state of knowledge and holiness in which it ought to abide, to be destroyed, to perish. In an ethical sense, to corrupt or deprave. Strong's definitions for thyro, probably strengthened from, what is this word? I guess it's theo. To pine or waste, properly to shrivel or wither, i.e. to spoil by any process, or generally to ruin, especially figuratively, by moral influences, to deprave, corrupt, self, defile, destroy. And that's what these women are doing when they are on all this divorce kick. Oh yeah, I wasn't happy. No. Let's see if I can get this precept real quick. Because I did mention about how women, scripturally speaking, aren't supposed to divorce. And these hoes will say they believe in God until you bring out his word. This is why the Lord has precepts to cut any wicked Jake or wicked Jake woman that says these things. Or to cut anybody in general, because you got a lot of devils that claim they believe in the Lord, but you know what that means. Here we go. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19. The book of Matthew, chapter 19. I'm going to start at verse 3. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that, and this is relative to his Lord Yahweh Shai speaking, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, For this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh? Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore the Most High Power Yahweh hath joined together, let not man put asunder. Okay? So let's get into this right here, because our Lord said that what the Most High joined together, let not man put asunder. That means man or woman. Okay? That means whatever stupid reasons you have for trying to, break up a marriage, don't let it be. It shouldn't be so. But obviously we understand we're in hell, so we got to see the examples of what happens when these precepts aren't applied. And Lord Yahweh Shah is going to break it down further. Verse 7, they say unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and put her away? And to put her away, Salakia. Now, once again, this goes back, when you get into the law of divorce, it shows you that power belonged exclusively to the man. Another reason women called men Lord, and no, it wasn't oppressive. Just like we call the Heavenly Father Yahweh and we call his only begotten Son Yahweh Shai Lord, acknowledging that authority keeps us in check from doing the wicked crap that we would do otherwise. Likewise, a woman calling a man Lord, that kept her in check from being a hoe. She understood that no matter what especially in her parents raised her in the law of Moses, despite whatever wickedness may, linger in the flesh, by remembering these precepts and remembering how a woman is supposed to be subordinate to a man, that keeps you in check from trespassing to the point you become like these hoes. Delusional. No good. Reading on, verse 8. Matthew chapter 19, verse 8. He saith unto them, Masha, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. Here goes verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whosoever marrieth her, which is put away, doth commit adultery. Now, right there, key points. 1, going back to how the man is the one that's supposed to have the power to divorce. This is why the system is backwards. And 2, what was the reason? What was the grounds that the Lord Yahweh Shai himself, who the word English calls Jesus Christ, gave? What was the grounds that he gave for divorce, if it had to be done? Fornication, which is a fancy, it's a Greek word for adultery. And what is adultery? A man having sex with another man's wife. So a man can put away his woman if she had sex with another man. Not a woman can divorce if her man went out and dealt with another woman that's single. That's that off Esau Mo shit. And these dumb women, they love doing it because it gives them power over the man. Even if they don't like the man, they just love having power over a man to say he can't do this, he can't do that. And it also, they're insecure. And one thing that I learned after getting these precepts about actual biblical marriage laws, where these Christian churches where they even get their format for their little monogamy from, but they abuse that, is the fact of women don't like a man having other women because that forces these lazy ass thoughts to stay on their P's and Q's. Because if she, for example, is trying to deprive you of sex and you no longer trying to butter her up and sweet talk her and buy her chocolate to get the box, but you now can go over to Lisa's house, then then she snaps into a Slim Jim. Then all of a sudden she wants to go. So these are things where it's like the Lord's ways, you can't fight his ways, man. The only thing you can do is try to come up against it and get cut and be revealed to be a devil, but it don't end too well. But if you get right along with it, you can benefit, and they who participate can benefit, not just in polygyny, but in any of these ways that Yahweh Bashmiel Shai has given us. Okay? So let me see. Depart from her husband. And Salaki, I didn't mean to make this video long, but, it's the spirit. it was like a lot of good points that I gleaned from this video. Yep, there it goes. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Starting at, what is this? Oh, Colin, this actually gets into it too, because she was mentioning something about how being married doesn't necessarily make you an honest woman. Nigga, even in the world, that was literally what people used to say. Oh, you gonna marry my daughter? You gonna make an honest woman out of her? Even by that worldly standard, none of y'all are honest nowadays. Because nobody, like, you know, as far as the 2/3, once again, this is not about the elect women, but even by that standard, because these women, they don't want marriage, they get into the marriage and they hop from marriage to marriage to marriage. That defeats the purpose. And Apostle Paul's going to get into that right here. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, starting at verse 1. The subheading says, teaching on marriage. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Okay, notice it says let every man have his own wife. For a man, line upon line, precept upon precept, that could be more or that could be less. For a woman, that only means one husband. All right, lest your husband be dead. And then, you know, you have no head in this world. Your head is back in the spirit world, so you can remarry. You're still on earth. There's provisions for that. That's where till death do us part comes from. That's where the Christian church stole that from the scriptures. Verse 3, let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise the wife unto the husband. The wife hath not power over her own body, but the husband. Likewise also the husband hath not power over his own body, but the wife. And this gets into how, you know, not supposed to deprive each other of sex, roughly paraphrasing. And it breaks it down more in verse 5. Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourself to fasting, so like yourselves, both of them, to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency. Right, and I think, I forgot which elder brought it out, Salakia, but either an elder or brother brought out this precept about a week or two ago, and he got into how, like, you know, this means right here, you know, how does this happen? Satan can tempt your woman by making her feel like, oh, well, you know, he hasn't been hidden in the wild, whoop-de-womp-de, so she gonna go out and try to get it on her own type crap. You know, that Glorilla bullshit. All right. So, like it says right here, you know, if, you know, you can't do that unless, you know, you basically separating, you're not having sex for, you know, for the sake of prayer and for fasting. And, you know, obviously for the Shabbat, you know, the Sabbath day, because you're not supposed to have sex on the Sabbath or any of the high holy days that are considered Sabbaths. And, you know, obviously, like the laws that also get into the laws of uncleanliness about a woman's menstrual cycle. You're not supposed to touch her during that period either. Okay. Verse 6, but I speak this by permission and not of commandment. And that doesn't mean that what Apostle Paul said out of his mouth wasn't from Yahweh Shai. He was taught by Yahweh Shai perfectly after Yahweh Shai had received his glory. What he's saying is, it's not, what Apostle Paul is saying is this precept applies to us in captivity, because there was going to be many different scenarios in which we couldn't apply the exact strict technicality of the law. Okay? So Apostle Paul was basically saying these things right here. Salakia. Apostle Paul was saying this, understanding that we were going to be in a captivity where we could only keep portions of the laws, but not all of them. And also, for those that asked this question to Apostle Paul, okay, he was basically giving them lawful, I'm trying to say it in such a way that keeps the point that, look, this is indeed the words of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, so don't try to wiggle around anything. But basically, he was giving us lawful applications of how to handle marriage in a lawful way on a case-by-case basis, because everybody's situation is not the same. All right? So that's the best way I could put that right there. So, like, that's not the best way I could put it. That is the best way to put it, because that's what it is. All right, verse 7. For I would that all men were even as myself, because Apostle Paul, he didn't deal with women. He was too busy. But every man hath his proper gift of the Most High power, Yahweh, one after one after this manner, and another after that. So basically, Apostle Paul was saying it's not, back to what I just said. He was giving us lawful applications of how to apply the law on a case-by-case basis under grace, okay? Because right now, you have it where some brothers, they're waiting to the kingdom. They're not dealing with women like that, understanding the headache that comes with it. And you got some brothers that, they still, the Lord put it in their spirit to want to deal with women, and it's not unrighteous. Basically, Apostle Paul was saying neither one is unrighteous, but they're both lawful. Both routes are lawful. It's just based upon the spirit the Lord gave you. Certain brothers like, nah, man, I need to get my rocks off. And as long as the brother's doing it lawfully, ain't nothing wrong with that. Certain brothers like, nah, I'm waiting to the kingdom. As long as, he's doing the work of Yahweh Shemi Shai, nothing wrong with that. As long as both brothers are doing the will of Yahweh Shemi Shai, nothing wrong with it. All right. What else? Verse 8. I say therefore to the unmarried and the widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. And we know that most of these women are not going to sit right here and, be abiding like Apostle Paul, not having sex, because one way that helped our people to just not have sex was to dedicate their lives to the service of Yahweh Shemi Shai. And most of our people don't want to do that. And even for those of us, our people that are dedicating themselves to Yahweh Shemi Shai, the Lord put it in your spirit to, to want to have sex. This is what this chapter is for. It's telling you how to apply that without worrying about being guilty of breaking the law. You're not breaking the law, but there's just a lawful way to go about it. Okay? Verse 9. If they cannot contain, then let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. All right? And marry right there gets into, not just the, marriage. As far as the men goes, the men can either get married to a wife, meaning they can have sex with a woman, okay, or they can get a harlot. Why? Because we're in captivity. And it's not unlawful for the men of the Lord to deal with harlots. Hosea dealt with a harlot. The Lord commanded him to do so. Samson, who's the judge of Israel from the tribe of Dan, he dealt with a harlot. And Judah, he dealt with a harlot. Even though it was Tamar playing the harlot, Judah originally was going down to that land to deal with a harlot, and she just so happened to have been playing it. But anyway, that's because as long as the man is faithful to Yahweh Shemi Shai and dealing with that harlot is not taking his attention away from her, Salakia, dealing with the harlot is not taking the man's attention away from the Lord, Yahweh Shemi Shai. There's nothing wrong with it. You're in the flesh. And certain times you don't have the time or the resources or the energy to deal with a consistent wife or woman on a consistent wife basis. No. And, we understand that sometimes the ministry takes time away from not the ministry. Being with a woman takes time away from the ministry, and being in the ministry, it takes time away from dealing with the woman. So sometimes there's conflicts of interest. So the Lord made a provision for that. All right. And for the women, all right, this is basically saying, for those women that are in the faith, obviously those women that are in the faith wouldn't be harlots, or shouldn't be anyway. The Lord is saying that, if you a faithful woman, you doing this and that, you're trying to be pious and not, have sex all over the place. The Lord's saying, look, it's better for you to marry a righteous man than to burn, So that way, you can do the work of the Lord and you can have that itch scratched. Verse 10, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. Now, this one right here is different. That's why he said, yet not I, but the Lord command this. Meaning that this isn't like I said a few verses ago, where he gave two examples: a man that is not having sex with women and a man that is having sex with women, and both are lawful. Okay, this one right here, he's letting you know this verse right here is lawful. It says, "Let not the wife depart from her husband." Okay. And it goes back to the law as well. First covenant standard, which, the first covenant standard of perfection in the law, giving you salvation, that was done away with, but the law wasn't done away with. Verse 11, but if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. Okay. So this right here gets into how these women, when like this girl on the screen was talking about, let me get back to it.
Is the fact that you left your marriage, because
you lost
if
me.
you thought it was, Okay, let's bring it back. I'll do it slow for you, right? I'll take it a step back further. Before you think, is influence. So influence creates thinking, and thinking creates action, right? Let's say it again. Influence creates thinking, thinking creates action.
Which is why Yahweh Bashmiel Shah, he wants us to be influenced by his word so we can act in righteousness. The spiritual demon Satan, all right, which is controlled by Yahweh Bashmiel Shah, the left-hand side through Esau, even self-proclaimed so-called white man. All right, Esau, the physical incarnation of the spiritual demon Satan, he wants you to be influenced so you can move in wickedness and folly and in perdition with evil communication that corrupts good manners. Like all of this women leaving the man, women initiating divorce crap. Because the Lord knew that if women do this, it would be based off of emotions and whims, not off of wisdom and the bigger picture. And Esau knows this. So what does he do? He perpetuates it.
You are influenced to believe that a marriage is a partnership, so then you thought about things as a partnership. A partnership isn't a companionship. A partnership isn't a marriage. A partnership is more of a 50-50 thing.
That's not true.
A partnership isn't man over...
And that's the problem with these hoes, man. And they always talk about something not true. Like, nobody's asking your opinion. He's telling you.
Woman over children. That isn't a partnership, a companionship. A partnership isn't a marriage. A partnership is more of a 50-50 thing.
That's not
a
true.
Partnership isn't man over woman, woman over children. That isn't a partnership. A partnership is, oh well, yeah, he does these things. We figure it out together. No. That's not what that is. A marriage is the man is the head of the household. The marriage comes from Christ. It comes from God. It comes from the religion. It comes from the Bible.
These jakes be listening to the videos, man. It's no denying it. Because the Christian church was not pushing that order. The Christian church was not pushing that order, bro. They was not pushing that order that hard to where it radiated outwards, and so many jakes, brothers in the truth and brothers still in the world alike. Not brothers. I gotta stop saying brothers. Brothers in the truth and Jake in the world alike are both saying it did not resonate to that point when the Christian church was when they supposedly had the Bible in a chokehold. It did not resonate that way. And man, these red pill dudes.
That's where marriage comes from. So what does God say?
So when women agree to get married, they agree to be dominated by a man?
Yeah, submissive. You just cook, clean, slave, have kids. Exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. But if she goes...
Nobody gives a fuck what you're talking about, man. Anyway, like I said, these women they just want to submit when it comes time to get, doggy style. Not realizing that the reason why they have those other little kinks, like there's certain women that not without trying to get too graphic, certain women like the BDSM thing. Certain women like to be dominated in different ways when it comes to the man that they dealing with. And I think Elder Pastor Hart brought it out a while back when these jakes was being all soft and weak about the grape doctrine. Come to find out, it was a survey done, and we in Babylon. I kind of growing up as, even as a prepubescent, as a teenager, it was just certain things that females was on where it's just all right, it's kind of obvious. It wasn't a surprise to me when it was brought out. But a survey said that one of the main fantasies that these women have is grape fantasies. They have fantasies of being graped. And that's just the sexual aspect, but it all goes back to the subconscious aspect of how the Lord made them in their nature. They're naturally submissive. Men are naturally dominant. So back then, when we didn't have to argue about gender roles and who brings what to the table and who's the table and all this other dumb crap, women understood that their value comes from them doing their duty as women, and the peace comes from it because that's what they're made to do. The men already knew that their value and their peace comes from being a man, doing manly stuff, leading a household, making sure that they themselves, even when they're by themselves, are moving in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and strength, and in righteousness through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmiel Shah. All these things are understood. But these women, to show you the rebellion and to show you the demon that's in them, the multiple demons they have on them and the demons that they accumulate by all these damn rods they take, they have a skewed vision of what marriage is about. And yes, thinking that it's a partnership is why these marriages will end in divorce, because when you do that, you're no longer being dominated. You're no longer being submissive. It's not like, oh, the illusion of, well, you men, you're just upset because your illusion of strength disappeared. Look, like, I'm just spitballing the dumb crap these feminist women say. It's not about an illusion of nothing. You're delusional thinking that a man and a woman are partners. And because of that delusion, it's going to be a bunch more simps that run through these type of women. Some of these women are going to get a decent dude, and he's not going to stay, depending on this, how the Lord takes that. But ultimately, these women are going to be ran through, man, one way or the other, because they think everything is a joke. They think everything's up for debate when it's not.
If she's married,
let her finish.
what if he was abusive? What if he lied to her? What if he had multiple children behind her back? What if he did things like that just because?
They always say this dumb crap and like it sounds smart. Men can't cheat. Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai did not make men to deal with just one woman. Women go crazy when they have sex with more than one dude because of the pair bonding thing. The first guy that took the woman's virginity, that's officially her husband in the eyes of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai. Now, we're in a wicked and adulterous generation, so there's grace applied, but that's why brothers have trouble in the flesh with these women, especially the women that are not virgins, okay? A man actually thrives when dealing with multiple women in that righteous setting that Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai set up, because where one woman may like doing this and her personality is more, passionate and this and that, okay, sometimes you need a break from that, but you still want to be around your woman, so you go deal with the other woman who's more laid back, reserved, and, timid, and just, she lights up when you're around her type stuff. Like, just these different dynamics from these different pillars of rest, that's how a man thrives. A man plants the seed, he puts his vibration on that woman, and she becomes more akin to what he needs. She starts to instinctively know what he needs before sometimes he even says it. But that man is still a man. He becomes more stronger by walking with Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, by applying wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and strength, and ruling his household in righteousness that the Lord may bless it. He doesn't have to worry about no damn vagina demons hopping on him. He gains a different personality from every different woman he smashes. No, he gains a different level of peace if they're in order. And that's just that insecurity, man. Like, these women will say, I'm tired of even saying it. I'm tired of even hearing it, but it's true. These women will basically worry about you having children behind their back. Look, bitch, that's a man's responsibility. None of us got here by the bulk of the world is not here because a man only lay with one woman. That doesn't work. The Lord made more women than men for that purpose. That's how reproduction happens a lot quicker.
She left that marriage doesn't mean that she went against all her sins.
No one is saying that. No one's saying.
And that's another problem with all this red pill stuff, man. Like, let me see what this shit is. Let me see what she just said.
What if he was abusive? What if he lied to her? What if he had multiple children behind her back? What if he did things like that? Just because she left that marriage doesn't mean that she...
A man doesn't have to check with a woman behind that type of crap, man. He really doesn't. Now, he should move in wisdom to make sure he can take care of what he's doing financially, whatever the case might be, or however he got to work that out. But he don't got to check with his woman, man. You don't got to check with a woman behind that type of crap. That's that Christian simp bullshit. That's why a lot of these niggas got their head up the woman's ass, and they don't realize when the brothers are trying to save their life by telling them, don't get married on paper. Everything you're doing with the woman anyway, you're doing it already. Don't get the fucking devil involved in your business more than he already is. He's already taxing the shit out of everybody. Don't get him involved in your stuff, and then you paying alimony and whatever, man. Whatever. Let's see what she says. She's kind of irritating.
Went against all her sins.
No one is.
What if he was abusive? What if he lied to her? What if he had multiple children behind her back? What if he did things like that? Just because she left that marriage doesn't mean that she went against all her sins.
No.
Went against all her sins. I don't know what the hell she's saying.
No one is saying that. No one's saying that. You're taking it a step further.
That's how you're trying to make it seem, because she made this deal to
no one's saying that.
Her marriage to hold it down. What if it wasn't right for her? What if she left it because she didn't want her kids to see her in a bad position? And that's what she says. Sometimes you need to leave those.
And then you give it to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You pray. But these women don't have faith, man. They think that You supposedly got yourself in a situation you don't like. And you think that all of a sudden now you have the resources to fix it. And that's a case-by-case basis. But when it comes to these marriages, the Lord set up an order. And I just read the order in the precepts. It's not for a woman to leave a man because she's feeling some type of way. Now, if he's abusive, then yeah, there's those situations are different. You know, a woman's not supposed to sit right there and actually get dogged out and all sorts of type of crap. No, because you have some wicked niggas out here, which also goes back into the order of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which is why in our customs the fathers gave away their daughters young, because knowing that once our people reach puberty, they get hot in the pants and they want to, they do what they do. Women women were freaked out even in middle school, man. And because it wasn't properly channeled, you have these weird ass philosophies that go in their head along with all the different rods they done rode.
Positions to raise a good child. You don't need to be around somebody who's lying to you.
You can't raise a good child without a man. We have statistics that shows that. So you're raising a degenerate.
But you told me in the...
And there's that lying to you crap. The man does not have to let you know every single fucking thing he does. Look at the long list of dudes that simped and did that. When I say simped, I'm not talking about dudes that had to learn off of experience and it was their first time dealing with it. I'm talking about dudes that had, that seen these examples and still think that, I'm gonna tell the woman everything. Stop fucking doing that. You got women out here saying crazy crap. There's women out here calling niggas moles for being too open with them. And it's not about what the woman says. Like I said, what they want is whimsical. It's about you understanding as a man what you need to do. She can't tell you as a man what you need to do. She can only talk about what she wants in the moment from a man, how she wants to be smashed and this and that, whatever. That's not long term. That's not big picture thinking. Only a man knows what he needs to know. Only a man knows what he needs to do. A woman can't sit right there and be like, oh, why did you tell me? I don't need to tell you every single aspect of my business, because even a woman that's in order will be a little jealous of the other woman. Look at the situation with Jacob with Leah and Rachel. They wasn't doing this petty worldly stuff today, trying to say, oh, well, you got to leave her for me. No, but they had competition over Jacob's affections. So in these modern times where these women are going crazy, breaking phones, keying cars, flattening tires and stuff, you ain't got to tell her every damn thing. You a man and she doesn't love you enough to let you, not let you, but if she doesn't love you enough to stop trying to suppress you from being a man because of her own insecurities, then fuck her.
Beginning of the cast, you told me in the beginning of the cast not to bring up statistics, but you keep bringing up statistics.
No, I said that the statistic that you brung up was a lie.
But it's not, it's true.
It's not fucking true, man. Emotions and statistics are not the same. Now, you can make statistics based off of emotions, but no, the statistics are above the emotions. But that's all I have for this one. It ran on longer than I expected. Hopefully this lesson was edifying and exhorting to the elected nation of Israel, to the hopeful elected nation of Israel. Once again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to our beloved Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, our beloved Lord and Savior, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Harachah, Kodash, that want us as always, to our apostles and our elders of great millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who we learn the truth from daily, whether you hear forbearance and sincere salutations as always to the hopeful elected nation of Israel, as well as the speckled bird among that number, which are the Hebrews, are like foreigners scattered among the heathen, that look like the heathen. Kwame Yasharala and Ababa Ball. From us out of here, Adawan Ratazah, and we got next, Adawan Ratazah. Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Alahai Yahweh, Achad. Wa, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Baba Kusha, Baba Kusha, Baba Kusha, Baba Kusha, Shalach Rayam, Wa Ainashim, Wa Ashim, Wa Haragium, Wa Abadium, Wa Mashapatium, all called Adawamium, Wa Gawayim, Wa Ayabium Nawa, Wa Babal, Wa Babal, Wa Babal. Aitha, the Wada, Tamyad, Tawab, Aman. Shalom.